Hello, you're watching Monday edition of News Mongolia. Today is May 2nd. For our top stories, Mongolia and Japan's foreign ministers discussed the success of strategic partnership and future cooperation. First political consultative meeting between the foreign affairs ministries of Mongolia and Latvia held. Government meets with tourism sector representatives. For other news, stay tuned. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia, held official talks with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan, Yoshimasa Hayashi, who is paying an official visit to Mongolia. The two sides assessed the current state of Mongolian-Japanese relations and exchanged views on future prospects, goals, and activities.
Minister Batsitsik emphasized that the visit of Foreign Minister Hayashi is taking place during the 50th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between Mongolia and Japan. On the occasion of the anniversary, Foreign Minister Hayashi reaffirmed Japan's commitment to expanding and strengthening the strategic partnership between the two countries. Minister Batsitsik expressed deep gratitude to the government of Japan for its steady support for Mongolia's democracy, reforms, and sustainable development since the early 1990s, and for its assistance to Mongolia in overcoming the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. Foreign Minister Batsitsik discussed opportunities for further cooperation with Japan in the construction of a free economic zone, a new satellite city in Hushuk Valley, and the construction of a hydrogen power plant. She noted that the economic partnership agreement between Mongolia and Japan is beginning to yield results, including an increase in trade turnover between the two countries in recent years. Minister Hayashi expressed his support for the 1 billion tree campaign initiated by the President of Mongolia and said he was exploring ways to support the campaign. He also stressed the need to further develop cooperation in the areas of climate change and the environment, which are an important part of the Mongolia-Japan strategic partnership. During the talks, the two sides exchanged views on high-level reciprocal visits and events to be held in the near future, agreeing to strengthen relations. Minister Hayashi said that he was pleased to review the implementation of the Mongolia-Japan Strategic Partnership Midterm Program for 2017 through 2021. Following their official talks, the foreign ministers signed a memorandum of understanding on the Japanese Grant Aid Human Resource Development Scholarship Program. Since the start of the scholarship program in 2001, 360 young Mongolians have pursued master's and doctoral degrees at Japanese universities. This year, the government of Japan has decided to provide 263 million Japanese yen in funding for the scholarship program. Prior to arriving in Mongolia, Foreign Minister Hayashi paid visit to Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan. The government of Japan stated that the visits were held to pursue regional cooperation in response to the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan maintain close relations with both Russia and Ukraine. Foreign Minister Hayashi's 5-day official visit ends on Monday.
On Saturday morning, Prime Minister Oyun and cabinet ministers met with representatives from more than 120 companies operating in the tourism and hospitality sectors. In 2019, Mongolia's tourism and hospitality sectors generated about 1.6 trillion Mongolian turuks in revenue, with cash flow equal to 7.2% of GDP. Despite lockdowns and restrictions caused by COVID-19, industry analysts say there is a likelihood of recovery. The meeting covered the results of previous meetings, issues addressed by the government, and challenges to be resolved in the future. Industry representatives discussed the challenges of excessive tax burdens and high prices for international flights. In 2021, Mongolia moved to a lower level of disaster preparedness and announced that it was fully open to international arrivals. Reviving the tourism sector has become one of the main priorities of the new revival policy. At the beginning of the meeting, Prime Minister Oyun noted that Mongolia and the world have been facing difficult economic times over the past 2 years. The meeting participants were briefed by cabinet ministers on the government's work in the tourism sector, current challenges, and prospects for recovery.
We will try to add some more regulations related to taxes. We will try to minimize tax-related issues until the end of 2022, until the tourism sector recovers. As the tourism industry is slowly recovering, I've received information about Japanese and South Korean tourists being interested in visiting Mongolia.
The liberalization of Mongolia's aviation industry was also a hot topic during the meeting.
We received complaints about the cost of airfare, and to support the local tourism industry, we adopted special fares for tour companies in December 2021.
Business representatives noted that government support for the tourism industry is crucial because of stagnation over the past 2 years and the sharp drop in income. Mongolia's tourism activity picks up during warmer seasons. Cabinet members say they held a meeting to arrive at concrete results and solutions for economic recovery. Thank you for staying with us on MNB World. Now let's take a look at Mongolia's current affairs.
The first political consultative meeting between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Mongolia and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Latvia was held via video conference on April 28th. During the meeting, the two sides exchanged views on bilateral relations between Mongolia and Latvia, as well as cooperation in regional and international affairs. The Mongolian and Latvian officials stressed the importance of supporting private sector cooperation in developing trade and economic relations between the two countries. The parties also agreed to look for opportunities to expand Mongolian and Latvian cooperation in education, transport and forestry. On April 27th, the non-resident ambassador extraordinary and plenipotentiary of the Dominican Republic to Mongolia, Frank Hans Dannenberg Castellanos, presented his credentials to President of Mongolia, Khursukhna. President Khursukh congratulated Ambassador Castellanos on his appointment and stressed the importance of efforts to expand relations and cooperations between the two countries. Noting that the two countries have opportunities to cooperate in tourism, mining and education, he said that the Office of the President and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs would provide the ambassador with comprehensive support. After conveying the greetings of the President of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, to the Mongolian President, Ambassador Castellanos expressed support for the government of Mongolia's policies and initiatives and said he would work to develop mutually beneficial relations and cooperation. Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Mongolia to Luxembourg, Bolt Lovsanavdal, presented his credentials to His Royal Highness Grand Duke Henri of Luxembourg on April 27th. Ambassador Bolt conveyed greetings from President of Mongolia Khursukhna to Grand Duke Henri and noted that he would work to expand friendly relations and cooperation between the two countries. The Grand Duke congratulated Ambassador Bolt on his appointment and expressed confidence that Mongolia-Luxembourg relations and cooperation would be further strengthened during his tenure as ambassador. He would work to expand friendly relations and cooperation between the two countries. The Grand Duke congratulated Ambassador Bolt on his appointment and expressed confidence that Mongolia-Luxembourg relations and cooperation would be further strengthened during his tenure as ambassador.
Now let's take a look at currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Here comes our regular feature on sports. Tokyo 2020 Olympic silver medalist and member of Mongolian national judo team, Said Molai, has reportedly requested to change his nationality and may fight internationally on behalf of Azerbaijan.
According to azerisport.com, the Azerbaijani national judo team may soon add a new athlete. They were informed that judoka Said Molai has applied to the Azerbaijan Judo Federation to represent the country in the competition. At the request of the athlete, he was invited to Baku, where he attended a meeting of the European Championship team and underwent a medical examination. The Azerbaijan Judo Federation Committee is currently considering Molai's request and is in consultation with the International Judo Federation, which will respond accordingly. The Mongolian Judo Federation has stated they will provide more information soon. Said Molai was born in Iran and is of Azerbaijani origin. He has been a member of the Mongolian national team since 2019 and won a silver medal at the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Here comes the weather forecast for the world's major cities. This is it for today. Thank you for staying with us. We'll see you tomorrow with more news updates. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.